Trump is back in Beijing. And this time, the world looks very different. On May 13, 2026, U.S. President Donald Trump landed in China for a high-stakes two-day summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping, the first visit by a sitting American president to Beijing since Trump himself made the trip back in 2017. But this is not 2017 anymore. The global economy is shaking. The Persian Gulf is on fire. Oil prices are hovering near $100 a barrel. The Strait of Hormuz remains disrupted after more than 60 days of war. And perhaps most importantly, China no longer believes it is negotiating from a position of weakness. The last time Trump and Xi met was in Busan, South Korea in October 2025, where both sides agreed to pause a brutal trade war that had pushed tariffs beyond 100%. Now, they meet again, with the stakes even higher. The Great Hall of the People will be polished to perfection. Military honor guards, red carpets, carefully choreographed handshakes. But beneath the pageantry lies deep mistrust. Trump has publicly predicted Xi Jinping might even hug him. That almost certainly will not happen. Still, the symbolism matters. Big announcements are expected. Soybeans, aircraft, trade commitments. Boeing could secure its first major Chinese order in nearly a decade. Its CEO, Kelly Ortberg, is traveling with Trump. Citigroup CEO Jane Fraser is also joining the delegation. But there is a catch. Trump's first Beijing visit in 2017 produced more than $250 billion worth of agreements. Most quietly disappeared within months. This time may not be very different. The White House is also expected to push a new idea: a permanent U.S.-China Board of Trade. The proposal would divide trade into two categories: strategic and non-strategic. Sensitive sectors could face tariffs and export controls. Less sensitive goods could move with lower barriers. The goal is to stop future trade wars before they explode. But critics warn Washington tried something similar with Japan in the 1990s. It failed. And hanging over every conversation in Beijing will be one word: Iran. The war in the Persian Gulf has become the defining geopolitical crisis of the moment. Global oil flows have been disrupted. American munitions stockpiles are under pressure. Recession fears are growing. Trump wants China to use its influence over Tehran to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz. But Beijing is playing a careful game. Just days before the summit, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi met Iranian officials in Beijing. China called for efforts to restore stability in the strait, while also defending Iran's legitimate right to peaceful nuclear energy. In other words, China wants to appear helpful without fully siding with Washington. China's exports surged more than 14% in April. Its rare earth dominance remains intact. It has sharply reduced oil imports through strategic reserves and industrial adjustments. And in February, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down Trump's IEEPA tariffs, weakening one of his biggest economic weapons. Then comes Taiwan, possibly the most sensitive issue in the room. Beijing is expected to push for a subtle but hugely important shift in American language, from saying Washington does not support Taiwanese independence to actively opposes it. And recent Trump decisions have already raised eyebrows. The administration suspended a $13 billion arms sale to Taipei. It also approved advanced NVIDIA AI chip sales to China. Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan itself will study every word emerging from Beijing for signs of softening. Artificial intelligence will also make the agenda. Briefly, The last major AI agreement came in 2023 under Biden, when Washington and Beijing agreed to keep AI away from nuclear weapons systems. But Trump views AI less as a shared global risk, and more as a strategic competition. So don't expect breakthroughs. In fact, some of the biggest issues may not be discussed publicly at all. China's rapid nuclear buildup, its support for Russia's war economy, North Korea's weapons testing. None of these topics are politically convenient for either leader, and perhaps that is the real story here. This summit is not about solving the rivalry between the United States and China. It is about managing it. Bye-bye soybean. The soybean deal will be honored in letter and violated in spirit. Brazil supplied over 80 million metric tons of soybeans to China in 2025. The structural advantage is Brazilian, not American. The numbers will be announced. The deliveries are another matter entirely. More Trump-Xi meetings are already planned through 2026. Xi could visit Washington later this year. Trump is expected in Shenzhen for APEC. Another meeting may happen at the G20 in Miami. The summits themselves are becoming the strategy, because the world's two biggest powers can neither fully cooperate nor afford a complete rupture. And so, on May 15th, Trump and Xi will step out before the cameras inside the Great Hall of the People. They will smile. They will shake hands. They will promise progress. But behind the scenes, the rivalry will remain very much alive.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.